छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटा सा मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटा सा मेरो मदन गोपाल। पीछे पीछे ग्वाल, आगे आगे गैया पीछे पीछे ग्वाल, पीछे में मेरो मदन गोपाल, पीछे में मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटा सा मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटा सा मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी लकुटी छोटे छोटे हाथ, छोटी छोटी लकुटी छोटे छोटे हाथ, बंसी बजावे मेरो मदन गोपाल, बंसी बजावे मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटा सा मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी सखियाँ मधुबन बाल, छोटी छोटी सखियाँ मधुबन बाल, रास रचावे मेरो मदन गोपाल, रास रचावे मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटा सा मेरो मदन गोपाल। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटा सा मेरो मदन गोपाल, छोटा सा मेरो मदन गोपाल। सांझ सवेरे अदड़ोठ मेरे, बस तुमरा है नाम सावड़िया, बस तुमरा है नाम। सांझ सवेरे अदड़ोठ मेरे, बस तुमरा है नाम सावड़िया, बस तुमरा है नाम। मैं तुम्हारी दासी तुम मेरे स्वामी, मैं राधा जे माधव मैदन मुरारी, जे माधव मैदन मुरारी, जे माधव मैदन मुरारी, जे माधव मैदन मुरारी, जे केशव कलिमल यशोदा के नंदे लाला ब्रज का उजाला है, मेरी
जय माधव जय कृष्ण मुरारी, जय गोपाल जय कुंज बिहारी। जय माधव जय कृष्ण मुरारी, जय गोपाल जय कुंज बिहारी। मोर मुकुट पीतांबर धारी, मोर मुकुट पीतांबर धारी। श्याम सुंदर जय जय गिरधारी, श्याम सुंदर जय जय गिरधारी। जय गिरधारी जय गिरधारी, जय माधव जय कृष्ण मुरारी।
श्याम बोल बंदे कृष्ण 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 सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण 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 जो तू मिटाना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा जो तू मिटाना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण 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 सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण 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 नाम पावन पावन कृष्ण नाम प्यारा प्यारा जो न बोले कृष्ण कृष्ण जग में वो हारा हारा कृष्ण नाम पावन पावन कृष्ण नाम प्यारा प्यारा जो न बोले कृष्ण कृष्ण जग में वो हारा हारा मन कामिते अंधियारा बोले कृष्ण कृष्ण मन कामिते अंधियारा बोले कृष्ण कृष्ण सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण 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 सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण कृष्ण जिसको मिले ना पेरा सुख नाम रम क्या जाने जो न ध्याए कृष्ण कृष्ण दुख का धर्म क्या माने जिसको मिले ना पेरा जो तो मिटाना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा जो तो मिटाना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण 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 सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण 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 सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण.
Thank you very, very much, Sanjay, for that jovial bhajan to Shri Krishna. And with that, I'd like to bid you all a Sitaram, Pranam, and a welcome to the very first night of Bhagwat Yagya at the Maha Lakshmi Narayan Mandir. I'd like to give a special welcome to Panditji Sharma, Panditji Mohan, and all other respected members here. But not just those of you who are here with us in person, but also those with you online. It's greatly appreciated to have you here, to have great poise and energy to commence this Bhagwat Yagya. Tonight marks the first night of 7, leading up to Janamashtami, the birthday of our Lord Krishna. And with this, I ask of you to continue listening to his name, and also don't feel shy to sing along to bhajans as well. I'd like to kindly ask Uma or Pama to please make their way to the stage to give us our next rendition.
जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय जय केशव कलिमलहारी जय केशव कलिमलहारी जय केशव कलिमलहारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी सुंदर कुंडल नैन विशाला सुंदर कुंडल नैन विशाला गले सो है वैजंती माला गले सो है वैजंती माला या छवि की बलिहारी या छवि की बलिहारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी सब डोलूत लूत दही खायो सब डोलूत लूत दही खायो कब हो मधुबन रास रचायो कब हो मधुबन रास रचायो नाचत पीती नतिहारी नाचत पीती नतिहारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी करुणा कर द्रौपदी पुकारे करुणा कर द्रौपदी पुकारे पत में लिपत गए बनवारी पत में लिपत गए बनवारी निरुकर है नर नारी निरुकर है नर नारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी जय केशव कलिमलहारी जय केशव कलिमलहारी जय माधव मदन मुरारी
yet another bhajan at the feet of Shri Krishna. In the meantime, I'd like to kindly ask Pandit Shavin to make his way to the stage to give us his next rendition. The bhajan you just heard translates as such: Victory to you, O Madhava, O Madana, O Murari. Victory to you, Lord, you whose face is dusky with long hair, with ornaments in your ears, impressive are your eyes, adorning the cute Vaijantmala around your neck. Who will not die to see these looks of yours? With this, I kindly ask you to give your attention to Panditji Shavin.
जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि सकल विघ्न कर दूर हमारे मम वंदन स्वीकार करो प्रभु चरण शरण हम आए तुम्हारी जय गणेश गणनाथ दयानिधि जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला जय नंदलाला जय जय श्री राधे गोविंदा मन बचले हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा मन बचले हरि का प्यारा नाम है सिर धन बल माला केशव तिलक लगावे केशव तिलक लगावे मोर मुकुट सिर घन बल माला केशव तिलक लगावे केशव तिलक लगावे वृंदावन का कुंज गलन में सबको नाच नचाए वृंदावन की कुंज गलन में सबको नाच नचाए श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है चरावे माधव मदन मुरारी माधव मदन मुरारी यमुन किनारे धेनु चरावे माधव मदन मुरारी माधव मदन मुरारी मधुर मुरलिया छवि बजावे हरले सुध बुध सारे मधुर मुरलिया छवि बजावे हरले सुध बुध सारे श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है लुभाया, सूर को श्याम लुभाया। गिरिधर नागर कहती मीरा, सूर को श्याम लुभाया, सूर को श्याम लुभाया। तुकाराम और नामदेव ने वित्तल वित्तल गाया, तुकाराम और नामदेव ने वित्तल वित्तल गाया। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन बचले हरि का प्यारा नाम है। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन बचले हरि का प्यारा नाम है। गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है, नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है। गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है, नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन बचले हरि का प्यारा नाम है। श्री राधे गोविंदा मन बचले हरि का प्यारा नाम है।
Thank you, Panditji Sachin, for that wonderful rendition. I'd like to now kindly please ask everybody to stand for Abhyas Puja of this evening.
Hari Om Swasti na Indro Vridashtava Swasti na Puka Vishwaveda Swasti na Starikshu Arishtanime Swasti nam Brihaspatiradhatu Om Payam Pratavyam Paya Oshadisho Divyam Tarikshi Payurapang Swastinam Brihaspati Om Vishnu Raratamasi Vishnu Stapnastro Vishnu Surasi Vishnu Drovamasi Vishnavemasi Vishnave Tagava Om Hari Om Namastute Vyasa Vishala Buddhi Puraravindra Nitram Yena Tvaya Bharata Tailapurna Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipam Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipam Prem to Vyas Bhagavan Ki Jai. Kindly take your seat. As we commence our Vyas Puja, we'll have a rendition or two in the meantime, and then we'll advise you further.
जय भागवत मैया मोरी मैया मोरी 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 मैं नहीं माखन खायो मैया मोरी हो मैं नहीं माखन खायो मैं नहीं माखन खायो कहत सुनत मैं आकर का है कहत सुनत मैं आकर का है झूठा दोष लगायो रे मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो मैया मोरी ओ मैं नहीं माखन खायो यमुना की तट पर बाल बाल संग चारों शहर में खेला ओ नए तरह पर बाल बाल संग चारों शहर में खेला नया शराबत बंसी बजावत सांझ की बेला भूख लगी तो दौलत दौलत भूख लगी तो दौलत दौलत सीधा मैं घर आयो रे मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो मोरी ओ मैं नहीं माखन खायो सुनी तो मात यशोदा, बात सुनी तो मात यशोदा हंस कर कंठ लगायो फिर बोली तू नहीं माखन खायो मोरी ओ मैं नहीं माखन खायो कहत सुनत में आकर है झूठा दोष लगायो रे मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खाया गोविंदा मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खाया श्री कृष्ण मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खाया.
Thank you very much again, Sanjay. I'd like to kindly ask everyone to please stand for opening Aarti. And surely after, if you have brought Parsad tonight, after opening Aarti, please make your way to the front and we will make your offerings.
जय 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 भागवतम जय 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 भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से आरती जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती ये अमर पंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जलाने वाला हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही हरि नाम यही हरि धाम यही जग मंगल की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हर दर्श दिखाने वाला ये सुख करनी ये दुख हरनी ये सुख करनी ये दुख हरनी ये मधुसूदन की आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती ये मधुर बोल जग भंग खोल सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही प्रभु की महिमा की आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती पापियों को पाप से है तारती पापियों को पाप से है तारती ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। शांति 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 हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोल सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Anthony, Vidya, come, the two of you come.
भज मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला भज मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला भजु गोविंदा जय गोपाला भजु गोविंदा जय गोपाला भजु मुरली मनोहर भजो मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला भजो गोविंदा जय गोपाला भजो गोविंदा जय गोपाला। मधुर मनोहर सावरे श्री हरि नंद किशोर नैना दर्शन बाबरे जय चरणन तो। मधुर मनोहर सावरे श्री हरि नंद किशोर नैना दर्शन बाबरे जय चरणन तो। मन बैरागी मन बैरागी नाम कतेरे नटवर दीन दयाला भज गोविंदा जय गोपाला भज गोविंदा जय गोपाला। नाम तेरा पवतार नहारा दुख भंजन सुखकारी जिसने भी हृदय में डारा उनके भी परतारी। नाम तेरा पवतार नहारा दुख भंजन सुखकारी जिसने भी हृदय में डारा उनके भी परतारी। है हितकारी साजन मेरे है हितकारी साजन मेरे कष्ट मिटाने वाला भजो गोविंदा जय गोपाला भजो गोविंदा जय गोपाला। सब खेल खिलावे। तेरा दर्शन श्याम मुरारी कोई बिराला पावे। जन्म जन्म का साथी तू ही, जन्म जन्म का साथी तू ही, तू जग का रखवाला। भजो गोविंदा जय गोपाला, भज गोविंदा जय गोपाला। भज मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला, भज मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला। भज गोविंदा जय गोपाला, भज गोविंदा जय गोपाला, भज गोविंदा जय गोपाला।
Thank you very, very much, Anthony, for giving us such good vibes and energy to initiate the very first night of this Bhagwat Katha. I would like to give a warm welcome to everyone here in person, to Maha, Lakshmi, Narayan, Mandir. And to those of you online with us as well, very warm welcome as well. As without further ado, I'd like to invite my Guruji, Panditji Jageshwar Sharma, to guide us in initiation of our Vyasji for tonight.
Thank you so much, son. Prem Salo Vyas Bhagavan ki jai. Our most revered and loving Vyasji, Pandit Rajiv ji, respected Brahman Devatas, Pandit Sharma ji, Pandit Mohan ji, Pandit Shavin, our brahmacharis right here in the temple, and to all other special invitees, Sitaram, Pranam, Swagatam. Sitaram, everybody. It is indeed a great, great pleasure and benefit for us tonight, as we gather here in this Mandir for the very first session of 7 sessions of Bhagwat Katha and Janamashtami Puja. My dear devotees, on behalf of myself and devotees and servants of this Mandir, it's an honor to have our most ordained, loving, humble and kind Vyasji, Vyas Rajivji. We welcome you here, son, with open arms and love and admiration, to narrate to us Bhagwat Katha. A few weeks ago, we had Bhagwat Katha in Shravan Mas. And of course, Shravan Purnima, as we conclude Shravan Mas, Purnamasi Titi, Raksha Bandhan, such an auspicious day to take that shield of Bhagavan Shri Krishna and to protect us, because he's that Bhagavad Katha himself. And this is our second year in this location, in our second annual Bhagavad Katha. But it's the first half after performing Prana Pratishta. Last year when we did it together as devotees of the temple, we had no murtis, our little small murtis that we commenced this mandir with. And we went on with Bhagavad Katha for 7 sessions. It was Vrindavana, the team of Vrindavana, planting 108 tulsi trees and decorating the temple. This year, through Bhagavan Kripa, our host, Pitaji Hemant and his Dharmapatni, and all devotees of this temple, we were able to reach to this juncture of our life as devotees. Tonight, as we set the pace sail for these 8 sessions of Yajna and Katha, it is most befitting and most humbly we ask this dear son, a stalwart in his own right. Pandit Rajiv Ji is no new name to many of you. He's been around a long time, as young as he may be. It's indeed because of the blessings of his dear parents, Uncle Omkar, Auntie Rome's, and his grandparents and his lineage, wherever the Atma may be, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, through him, that they gain that moksha. And of course, for them as parents and grandparents to send their lineage to be on earth today to educate us and to help us. It's a blessing in this kulam. Let us put our hand together very firstly for dear Vyasji. And of course, Pandit Rajiv is very, very dynamic with his entourage. I won't ask for a second clap for them. Okay, we won't finish tonight. I bow to you guys. Thank you so much for being here with him. They're no stranger to this temple and to this community, very talented and skillful musicians. Pandit Rajiv ji has been practicing Panditai for over 10 years. I told you, right? You're going to want to check how old he is. Don't allow the beard to fool you, right? He's still young. He has been practicing for over 10 years. And of course, as I mentioned to you, he came from a lineage of Pandits. He came from a lineage of Pandits in his kulam. Pandit Sharma, our very own, who is always with us in Mandir, is that one of his lineage also. Pandit Sharma is always here with us. And of course, tonight we have the treat to listen to his grandson, Rajiv ji, Vyas ji. And of course, my dear Bhaktajano, Rajiv ji, Pandit ji, Vyas ji is a versatile musician as well. He's trained musician under Guruji Himant Panwar, who we are humbled and honored to have him in this temple also to lead our children. And he's currently a student at Harvard University, focusing on Hindu studies and Sanskrit. And my dear Bhaktajano, before all of that and where he have ascended to, who would have known Rajiv ji would know and can attest. The humble, always hungry kid for dharma and to serve relentlessly. And this is a quality, if we want to aspire, one of our very own, of West Indian root, Guyanese root, Canadian born though, one of our very own is a student at Harvard University. Let us give him a round of applause. We must be very proud of him, because when a Hindu can do it, then we are all that lineage. And we are very, very humbly and thankful for your parents for all the love and kind support they have given you, Rajiv, and your boys them as well, as they continue to give that support. Rajiv ji, Vyas ji is committed in making Hinduism very dynamic and accessible. For people like me have no hope in his book. He only deals with young people, he say. I'm just joking. But his focus is on the younger generation. His focus is on the younger generation. And of course, it is commendable. He cannot maybe sometimes relate with we mature people, Guyanese people, all over the place. But he can guide the Canadians. And so tonight, we are given this opportunity to listen to this, our Vyasji, and looking forward, as he wrapped up his studies, looking forward to return to his community and to serve their devotees with all our blessings tonight. From the executive and leader of this Mandir, Vyasji, we are humbled, we're privileged to have you, to set this boat a sail. Throughout the other sessions, we have many, many other Vyas from our community, but tonight we are humbled to welcome you, Rajiv ji, and please take it away. Prem Sar Vyas Bhagwan ki jai.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Devyai Namaha. Shri Gurudevebhyo Namaha. Matri Pitri Devebhyo Namaha. Namaschandikaya. Namah Parvati Pataye. Hara 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 Mahadev. We bow our heads to Ganesh Bhagwan, remover of all obstacles, giver of intelligence, mental strength and wisdom. Ganpati Bhagwan, that is this Mandir, this home of yours, embarks on Bhagavad Saptaha, followed by Janamashtami. Then may you clear the path of any obstacles for them. Allow everybody here to reap the rewards of Katha. keep us healthy, happy, and safe.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvighnam Kuru me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Bhadrakalyai Namo Nityam Saraswatyai Namo Namah Veda Vedanta Vedanga Vidyasthane Bhyaeva Gurur Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha.
In this auspicious month of Shravan Mas, during which we honor Bhagwan Shiva, who is the destructive energy, the one who destroys all negative qualities from within us, all negative energies from around us. We bow our heads to him today as we conclude and complete Shravan Mas on this Purnima. Bhagwan Shiva, guide us, protect us, keep us peaceful, keep us happy, allow us to achieve our goals. Together we pray.
Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Samsara Saram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayaravinda Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Bolo bolo sab mil bolo Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Bolo bolo sab mil bolo 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Jut jata mein Ganga dhari, jut jata mein Ganga dhari, Trishul dhari, dhamar bajave, Trishul dhari, dhamar bajave, dhamar 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 bajave, dhamar 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 bajave. Gूंज गाओ नमः शिवाय, गूंज गाओ नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शंकर भगवान की।
We bow our heads to Bhagwan Shri Krishna, who is the presiding deity of our Bhagavad Saptaha, who is the 8th incarnation of Bhagavan Vishnu, the presiding Devta, Pradhan Devta, the Pradhan Devta of this Mandir and of our hearts, of this world, the sustaining energy. Bhagavan, as we prepare to welcome you in this world again this year on Janmashtami, we attune our minds in this way through Bhagwat Katha. Bless us, guide us. Then in the same way that you blow the sweet sound out of the flute, that may you make us the instrument of your sweetness. Adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram. Everything about you is sweet. Make us instruments of that sweetness as well. Om Vamshi Vibhushitakara Navanir Dhava Pitambara Darunavimba Phaladaroshta Purnendu Sundara Mukha Arvindra Netra Krishna Param Kimapi Tattvamaham na jane. Bhagwan, Krishnat Param Kimapi Tattvamaham na jane. That we know nothing other than you, nothing higher than you. Krishna Tvadiya Pada Pankaj Panjarante Adyaiva me Vishatumanas Rajahamsa Prana Prayana Samaye Kaphavat Pitte Kanthavaro Dhana Vidhau Smaranam Kutaste Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave. Bhagavan, you are Satchidananda Rupaya, the form of true bliss. Tapatraya Vinashaya, the one who destroys the 3 afflictions of life. Those problems that are caused by ourselves, those problems that are caused by others, and those problems that are beyond anyone's control. That you remove all of them. That any one of us who are suffering here today inside, Bhagavan, give us strength, give us healing. Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave Tapatra Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha. Muraliya baje re Jamuna ke tire, Muraliya baje re Jamuna ke tire, Muraliya baje re Jamuna ke tire, Jamuna ke tire ho, Jamuna ke tire, Jamuna ke tire ho, Jamuna ke tire. Muraliya baje re Jamuna ke tire, Muraliya baje re Jamuna ke tire. Karo kanhaiya कार कमरिया, कारो कन्हैया, कारो कमरिया, कारी है जमुना के नीर, कारी है जमुना के नीर। मुरलिया बाजे रे जमुना के तीर, मुरलिया बाजे जमुना के तीर, जमुना के तीर हो।
जय जय गोपाल जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय राधा रमण हरि राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय प्रेम से बोलो वृंदावन बिहारी लाल भगवान की
Jai Sitaram, everybody. Jai Sitaram, everybody. Radhe Radhe, everybody. Welcome to, again, our first night of Bhagavad Saptaha, Lakshmi Narayan Mandir. Happy Raksha Bandhan, happy Shravan Purnima. Today is an auspicious day. Today is Shravan Purnima, like we heard, which is the culmination of our month that we dedicate to Shiv Shankar Bhagwan. And it is also Raksha Bandhan. On this Purnima, Purnima is one of the most auspicious nights every month. That those who fast for Purnima incur great blessings. And on this Purnima, those who have been invested with Janeo, all of those of you who have Janeo, we change our Janeo today to begin a new year in our spiritual growth. And there's Raksha Bandhan as well, where sisters and brothers honor each other. That when a sister ties Rakhi, the Raksha, on the brother's hand, what do they say? Yena baddho bali raja, danavindro mahabala, tena tam abhivadnami, rakshe machala machala. That this Raksha, this protection that I tie on you, may it never falter, may it never wave. Today is not only about the brother protecting the sister. Today is about the sister praying to protect her brother. And who started this tradition? Bhagwan Shri Krishna. That when Bhagwan Shri Krishna's finger was cut by the Sudarshan Chakra, Draupadi, who was like a sister to him, cut out a piece of her sari and tied that cloth on his hand. And he said that for the cloth that you have tied on my hand today, I will bless you, that when you need cloth, I will give you. And when Draupadi Ma was being dishonored in the Kuru Sabha, in the royal assembly by the Kauravas, and her clothes were being stolen from her, Bhagavan Shri Krishna blessed her back with the same cloth. Brothers and sisters are honored today. And so this is how, on this auspicious day, this is how we begin our Bhagwat Katha. What is Bhagwat Katha? Why do we celebrate Bhagwat Katha? Why do we do Bhagwat Katha? Ramayana, you came to hear Bhagavad. I'll give you a little bit of Ramayana tonight. Ramayana says, Sita Ram Charit Ati Pavan Madhura Sarasa Aruate Man Bhavan Pune Pune Kitne Hu Sune Sunaye ये की प्यास बुझत न हो जाए पुनि पुनि कितने सुने सुनाए. Again and again we hear the same thing over and over again. How many Bhagavad you haven't been to? Lakshmi Narayan Mandir has Bhagavad tonight. Several Mandirs have Bhagavad throughout these nights. Vishnu Mandir had Bhagavad. Me and Akshay went to Vishnu Mandir Bhagavad last month. Every Mandir has Bhagavad. Again and again you're hearing the same thing over and over again. Puni puni kitne hu sune sunai. But still, pyasa bujhat na ho jaye. Still the thirst in our heart for God is never quenched. Still we have a need for God in our life. And this is why we come again and again to recalibrate ourselves, to redirect ourselves. And so tonight, Bhagavad, the beauty of Bhagavad is Bhagavan Krishna and his Leela. But I am not fortunate to give you any of that tonight because the first night of Bhagavad is the syllabus. When you start school and the first day, you gotta go and hear your syllabus, hear what your readings you have, what classes you have. That's how Bhagavad is set up too. But the first day of Bhagwat Katha is the Mahatmya, is the greatness of Bhagavad. You have to hear. The difference is nobody goes to the first day of class, but all of you came here today. So that's very nice. But how does Bhagavad begin? That mantra, the first mantra, Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave Tapatra Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha. We worship Bhagavan Krishna as Satchidananda Rupa, as the form of true bliss. And so all those who come to listen to his story will be filled with the same. But how does Katha start? Vedyas writes, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda. Bho sadho kshanam tishtha, machintam apinashaya. Darshanam tavalokasya, sarvatarthaharam param. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda. Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda. Bho sadho kshanam tishtha, machintam apinashaya. Darshanam tava lokasya, sarvatha gharam param. Kasitam ka vimochema, narya ka padmalochana. Vadadevi savistaram, swasya dukkhasya karanam. Narad Muni, who is the great sage, the great saint, the Rishi, he was walking the earth and he saw so much of suffering around him. He saw pain, poverty, hardship. Because Kali Yuga had taken reign over the earth. Kali Yuga had begun with the dark age, Kali Yuga. And he saw all the suffering that comes with the dark age. And as he's walking, he saw on a riverbank, there was a young lady. And seated beside her, she was taking care of two old, sickly men. And he was confused. He said, what is this sight here? And he says, Bho bho sadho kshanam tishtha. He asks, who are you? And she says to them that aham bhakti rati khyata imau me tanayom mato. Mera naam bhakti hai, ye gyan aur vairagya namak mere dono putra hai. That my name is Bhakti. And these two men are named Gyan and Vairagya. They are my two sons. Narad Muni said, how are you young and these two are so old? That how are you healthy and beautiful? And these two men, your sons, are old and frail and sickly. Bhakti, Gyan and Vairagya. Bhakti is faith, Shraddha, love for God. Gyan is wisdom. And Vairagya is dispassion, detachment. And she says to him that reaching Vrindavan when I reached Vrindavan, which is the home of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, even these thousands of years after he had left, my life was renewed because of the love that people have for Bhagwan Krishna there. That people have love for him. And so me, Bhakti, who is the embodiment, who is the personification of that love, is kept alive. But people have no gyan. People have no vairagya. And so my two sons are sickly and dying. In this world, in this Kali Yuga, everybody loves God. Everybody, all of you love God. But we lack, all of us, we lack judgment sometimes. All of us make mistakes. Our wisdom is lacking sometimes. All of us lack detachment. We're attached to the wrong things in life. You, me, all of us. But still we find ourselves here at Mandir, which is a good thing. The bhakti is still alive in us. So Narad Muni listened to her story, and Narad Muni says, okay, well, what can I do for you? And she says that help me, that save my sons. The mother is praying for her sons. And so he reads all the Ved mantra for them. He's a scholar of the Ved. He reads all the mantras, does all the puja for them. Still, they remain sickly. And so Narad Muni says, I can't help you, but I will find somebody who can. First thing we learn here, simple thing. It's very easy that once we can't help somebody, we drop it. That's not our problem anymore. That if I can't do something about it, then they gotta figure out how to handle the situation. Narad Muni says, a helpful person, a selfless person says that if I can't help you, don't worry, I will find somebody to help you. Narad Muni is selfless. Throughout the whole katha, every katha with Narad Muni, he does the same thing. Satyanarayan Vrat Katha, he sees the suffering, he goes straight to who? Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham. He sees, when he goes to Vaikuntha, he sees Bhagwan Vishnu lying on the Sheshnag, the bed of serpents, with the Shank, Chakra, Gada, Padma in his hand. And he recites that prayer and he bows to him and says, how can I help the people? Same thing. He sees somebody needs help. He can't help them. So he finds somebody who can. And so who does he go to? The Manas Putras. These are the 4 sons of Bhagavan Brahma. Their names are Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan, and Sanat Kumar. 4 sons, all with S. Very easy to remember. Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan, and Sanat Kumar. Remember? Good. I'm going to test you after, when we go home. I test them all the time. He goes to them and he says, Prabhu, Bhakti, Gyan, Vairagya are punishing on this earth, punishing. How can I help them? And the Kumaras, the boys, they were young. They were all young. The 4, they never grew old. They said to Narad Muni, Swadhya yagyana yagyascha te tu karma visuchaka satkarma suchako nunam jnana yagya smrito buddhe Shrimad Bhagavat Satu Gita Shukadibhi Bhakti Jnana Viragyanam Tad Ghoshena Bala Mahat. Satkarma Suchako Nunam Jnana Yagyo Smrito Buddhai. He said, the Sanandan, Sanatan, Sant Kumar say to Narad Muni that the solution to their problem is Jnana Yagya, is Yagya. And Shrimad Bhagavata, Bhagwat Katha Yagya, Shrimad Bhagavat Mahapuran Yagya is the solution to their problem. That will energize them, that will give them life again. And so Narad Muni says, Veda Vedanta Ghoshaischa Gita Pathe Prabodhitam Bhakti Jnana Viraganam Nodishto Tatrikam Yada. He says that I tried my best. I recited all the Vedic mantras for them. Recited all the Gita for them. Tried to energize them. And still, they're still sickly. And the Sanat Kumar, Sanak Sanandan Sanatan Sanat Kumar say to Narad Muni that वेद उपनिषदों सारा जाता भागवती कथा। श्रीमद् भागवत की कथा वेद और उपनिषदों के सार से बनी है। That Bhagavad Katha is made of the sar, of the essence of Vedas, Upanishads, Gita. All the kathas, all the Purans, all the scriptures are summarized, the essence of them is found in the Bhagavad. They say that in the same way, you can't see the sugarcane juice in the sugarcane, where you have to squeeze the cane to get the juice. Or the same way you can't see the ghee in the milk, but you have to treat the milk to get the ghee. In the same way, people are unable to reap the benefit of the Vedas and Upanishads because it is so difficult. But the essence of that is boiled down into the Bhagavad Katha for you and for me. What is the mantra of Bhagavad? Nigam kalpataror galitam phalam Shukamukhad britadrava samyutam Pibati bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. Bhagavad Katha is like the bird-picked mango of a tree that Shukdev, that great Muni who recited the Bhagavad for the first time, has pecked. And the juice from it that he obtains from that is the Bhagavad. That the tree is the Vedas and the Upanishads. The tree are the philosophy of our scriptures. And the fruit is Bhagavad. And that juice has been made available to us through Shukadeva. And so they prescribe to Narad Muni that if you want to help bhakti, gyan and vairagya, then we will recite Bhagavad Mahapuran Katha for them. They say, Katha Bhagavat Syape Nityam Bhavate Yadgrihe Tadgriham Tirtharupam Hi Vasatam Papanashanam न गंगा न गया काशी पुष्करम न प्रयागकम शुक शास्त्र कथायाश्च फलेन समतानये हरे कृष्ण राम राधे गोविंदा हरे कृष्ण राम राधे गोविंदा. They recite the Bhagavad Katha for bhakti, jnana and vairagya. And they say, Katha Bhagavat Syapi Nityam Bhavati Yad Grihe Tad Griham Tirtha Rupam Hi. That the house, the place wherein Bhagavad Katha is read, becomes Tad Griham, that home or that place, Tirtha Rupam Hi, is indeed a tirth, is indeed a place of pilgrimage. Na Ganga, na Gaya Kashi, Pushkaram na Prayagakam. Ganga, Gaya, Kashi, Pushkar, Prayag, Triveni Sangam. None of these places can be as pure as the place where Bhagavad Katha is read. In Bhagavad Katha last month at Vishnu Mandir, Dr. Dubey said something very beautiful. That the Manasputra said that Triveni, that union of the three rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati, that is present here in the Bhagavad. Why? These are three rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. Saraswati is dry up. The other two people go and they see. But they meet in certain parts of India, in Kashi, in different places. Ganga, that is where the Katha was recited, on the banks of the Ganga. That's where Katha was recited. Yamuna, that is where Bhagavan Krishna grew up, on the banks of the Yamuna. That's where Bhagavad Katha happened, in the Yamuna river. And Saraswati, that is where Ved Vyas, on the banks of the Saraswati river, is where Vedavyas wrote the Shrimad Bhagavat. And so those three holy rivers meet in the Bhagavat. It was recited on the banks of the Ganga. It takes place in the banks of the Yamuna and was written for us on the bank of the Saraswati. That for none of us who can go to those places, we can find them here in our Bhagavat. But what else does it teach us? Tenayam vangmayi murtim pratyaksha vartate hari. That this is the form, the pratyaksha roop, the visible form of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Bhagavan Krishna says that I am present here in this book. The book is so blessed that even Bhagavan, who we cannot see in this form, we see in this form. And so the Manas Putras recite the Katha and they rejuvenate Jnana and Vairagya. Why? Why did Bhagavad Katha work? Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya. Bhagavat, Puran, Yajna. That's what we have. What we have going on here, right? It's three words: Bhagavat, Puran, Yajna. And the three people were Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya. Bhagavat. That Bhagavat means that which is pertaining to God, that which is associated with Bhagavan, is divine. That is our bhakti, our devotion is tied to that. So Bhagavat covers off bhakti. Then Puran. The Puran is the katha, the story, the message. From the message we get Gyan. So from Bhagavat we get bhakti, from Puran we get Gyan, we get the wisdom. And Yajna. Yajna is sacrifice. The sacrifice to be here, to come sit down on your evening, your summer evening, long weekend evening, and to come and honor Bhagavan. That is Vairagya. That is dispassion. That is a sacrifice. So from Bhagavat we cultivate our bhakti. From the Puran we get the Gyan. And from Yajna we develop, from the sacrifice we develop dispassion, detachment. And so for this reason, Jnana and Vairagya were renewed through Bhagavad Katha Yajna. Everything is present in this book. The Triveni Sangam, even the three yogas. We know what are the three yogas? Anybody knows the three yogas? You're tired, it's okay. Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. Bhakti is these are the paths to reach God. Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Different strokes for different folks. However you feel you need to reach God, there's a path for you. Bhakti Yoga, if you're a devotional person, if you like to pray, to do puja, there's a path for you. Jnana Yoga, if you like to think, meditate, if you reach God through the philosophy and through higher realization, Jnana Yoga is for you. Karma Yoga, if you can't, you know how many people can't sit down for puja for 5 minutes? But they will serve God by cleaning the Mandir or doing, Uncle Prem is laughing, because he's a Karma Yogi. He does the work, he serves selflessly. Uncle Vishnu, the two Karma Yogis are sitting together there. They serve selflessly. What works for you, works for you. But all of them, we learn from Bhagavad Katha, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. And all of them are viable ways for us to reach God. And so, Jnana, Bhakti, and Vairagya were healed through the recitation of the Bhagavad Katha. All of us, we all face some challenge in life. And whether it is a challenge in our faith, that we're struggling in our faith, whether it is a challenge that we need guidance, gyan, wisdom to make the right decision, or whether it is a challenge in vairagya, dispassion, that we're attached to the wrong things, we're chasing the wrong things in life, Bhagavad Katha gives us the answers. The story, and it's so nice that it comes in the form of a story, that it's not a lecture. This part is a lecture, the syllabus is a lecture. But the story it's Bhagavan Krishna's life. It's a beautiful story. Grown people, children, all of us like stories. We are so blessed as Hindus that all our wisdom comes just from a story. And so Shukdev, who is narrating all of this, the story of Narad and Jnana and Bhakti and Vairagya, he tells us who else was elevated through the means of Shrimad Bhagwat Katha. Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai पंडितो ज्ञानी धुंधुकारी महाखला स्नान शौच क्रियाहीनो दुर्भक्षी क्रोध वर्धता दुष्परिकरण करतां च शाश्वतेन भोजनम गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय कियत् कालेन तो जातो तरुणो तनयावभौ गोकर्ण पंडितो ज्ञानी धुंधुकारे महाखला. Shukdev says there was once a Brahman, a Pandit, who had two sons. Their names were Gokarn and Dhundukari. Gokarn and Dhundukari. Gokarna Pandito Jnani, Dhundukari Mahakhala. Gokarna was a Pandita Jnani. Gokarna was a priest. And he was wise, and he was good, and he was kind. And Dhundukari Mahakhala. And the brother Dhundukari was a papi, was a mahapapi, was a sinner. हिंसा उसे व्यसन सा हो गया था. हर समय वह अस्त्र शस्त्र धारण किए रहता और बेचारे अंधे और दीन दुखियों को व्यर्थ तंग करता. Dhundukari was bad, he was spiteful. That the blind and the poor, he would go and harass them and beat them. He beat his mother and his father. He beat Gokarn, his brother. He committed sins. He associated with lower people. And he engaged in dishonorable conduct with women. He was a great sinner. Gokarn was so good, Dhundukari was so bad. One brother was so good, and one brother was so bad. That both of them came from the same stock. Both of them came from the same kul. But one was good, one was bad. We are the makers of our own destiny. We are the makers of the path that we walk in this life. The brothers came from the same father, but one followed in the father's footsteps, and one engaged in pap and sin. And so Dhundukari beat his mother and father, and he robbed them and stole all their belongings, and he went to live by himself, and he took up company with bad people, with dishonorable people, and he engaged in poor conduct with women. And one day they took advantage of him and they killed him, and they stole all his wealth. Nobody knew where Dhundukari was. Even his name doesn't sound too nice. Nobody knew where he was. And Gokarn, eventually realizing that his brother had probably died, performed Shrimad at Gaya, the holy place in India, for him. As a good brother, no matter how bad Dhundukari was, how poorly Dhundukari treated him, Gokarn performed the Shrimad for his brother. And so time passed, and one day Gokarn, the good brother, was visited by a pret. There was a pret. When a person passes, from the time of their death to the time of their Varshik Shrad, the time of their 1-year Shrad. That time is known as a prait, as a wandering soul, a spirit. And if prayers are not offered for them, or if they had lived a dishonorable life, they suffer in that period because they're wandering, we believe. And so at the Varshik Shraddha, when 1-year Shraddha is performed for them, we believe they elevate to the status of a Pitri, at which time that becomes a Devta for us. But in that time leading up to that, they're prayed. So this prayed, who was a Ghor prayed, who was a scary ghost, visited Gokarn, the brother. And Gokarn says, "Who are you?" And Dhundukari says, "Om aham bhrata tvadiyosmi Dhundukari iti namata swakiyena vadoshana brahmatvam nashitam maya aho bandho kripa sindho भ्रातार मामा शुमोचय गोकर्णो वचनं श्रुत्वा तस्मै वाक्यं मथा ब्रवीत् Aham bhrata, I am your brother that recognized me. Aho bandho, my brother, my friend. Kripa sindho, you who are so compassionate, take compassion on me, that I have sinned so much. Swakiye naiva doshena brahmatvam nashitam maya. मैंने अपने ही दोष से अपना ब्राह्मणत्व नष्ट कर दिया. That I performed so much sin in my life that no prayers that were offered for me could even rectify what I had done. That even though I was born to a good family, my brahmanatva, the status of being born to that family was nasht, was destroyed because of my conduct, because of my character. In our culture, we have something known as what? Caste. And we hold on to this thing. Our name, our family, our lineage. Gokarn, through his poor conduct, lost whatever blessings he would have attached to that jati, to that varna. The Bhagavad says it, through poor conduct, he lost his brahmanatva. We are not made by our name. We are not made by where we come from. We are not made by our mother and father. We are made by our own karma. And Dhundukari's karma cost him all the blessings that he had. And so he says, uplift me, do what you can for me to take me out of this suffering in this state. And so Gokarn, his brother, listened to him, and what does he do? Dhundukari preta mahakhala, Dhundukari preta mahakhala, इसी कथा से हो गए पारा प्यारा, भागवत कथा सबको प्यारा, भागवत कथा सबको प्यारा प्यारा, भागवत कथा सबको प्यारा. धुंधुकारी एक प्रेत महाखला, धुंधुकारी एक प्रेत महाखला, इसी कथा से हो गए पारा प्यारा, भागवत कथा सबको प्यारा, भागवत कथा सबको प्यारा. Dhundukari Pret Mahakal, the Pret who is so bad, Mahakal, isi katha se ho gai para. From this katha, he was redeemed. Gokarn did Bhagwat Katha, Bhagwat Saptaha for 7 days for him. And it is said there was a bamboo that was planted there. And with each night of Bhagwat Katha, one knot, you know the bamboo have knots in it, one knot of the bamboo was burst. And each night, one more, till the bamboo split entirely and appeared Dhundukari in a beautiful form. He appeared Pitavasa Ghanashamo Mukuti Kundalanvita.
He was wearing yellow. He was wearing dark. He had dark skin. He had beautiful ears and beautiful earrings, beautiful eyes. Who does that sound like? Bhagavad. That from Bhagwat Katha, from the teachings of God, a sinner was turned into a devta. That a person of poor conduct was redeemed. Dhanya Bhagavati Varta Preta Pida Vinashani. That this Bhagavad grants peace to even the most wretched of souls. What does this teach us? This Dhundukari Katha. Dhundukari was a sinner. He did nothing good in his life. Nothing good in his life. But he realized his mistake. In the Pret form, he realized his sins. He realized the error of his ways, and he corrected himself. He wanted to do better. People make mistakes in life. All of us make mistakes in life. But recognizing, accepting our faults is how we do better. You know, I volunteer at the jail in Toronto as the pundit at the jail. And so I go and I pray with them. I'm only doing it the last this month or so, summertime, since I came back. And you know, you pray with them, you talk to them. There's a boy there, my age. He's Guyanese and Trinidadian. He's dark like me, he looks like me. He could have passed for as any one of my friends. He's my age. And he's in that jail because of whatever mistakes he made in life. And I talked to him. You know, this boy asked me to bring a mala for him. And I couldn't even bring a mala for him into that jail because of the rules. And I thought to myself, this boy is begging for a mala to pray. And I'm coming to Mandir tonight. Today I went. And I'm coming to Mandir tonight. With all these murtis. A beautiful Mandir. Puja was done. Bhajan is singing here. It's a pure place. What is jail? Jail is a pure place. You know what goes on in there? And this man is trying to pray. The man who couldn't have a mala is begging to pray. We who have a mandir, how many times is that our focus? We have these murtis to pray. Look how beautiful these came from Sitaram Sharmaji in Rajasthan. When I went to India, I saw the man who makes these murtis, the same man. I met him. I did. These beautiful murtis we have, you know what he had to pray with? I had to cut out a Durga Ma from a calendar for him. For him to paste on his wall with what? With toothpaste. With toothpaste. And still, he has the heart to pray. Still, he wants to pray. The man who never prayed in his life, who landed himself in jail, is turning his life around. You know what? I took for him a Gita. They give him a Gita in the jail. It's the Hare Rama Hare Krishna Gita, so it's very convoluted. Lots of big words. The man didn't finish school properly. Is punishing to read this Gita. I had to borrow this boy's easy Gita to go give to him. All of us have Gita in our home. Ramayana in our home. We can go on the internet and watch Ramayana and Mahabharata. But this boy is begging for a Gita to read. Because he turned his life around in his lowest moment. People need grace in life. People need kindness in life. We are instruments of God to show them. All of us are privileged, are fortunate people, are good people. That's why we're here and we're not there tonight. But we are instruments of God to show them, to show people who need help what they can do and what they must do. Open your Gita, read it, uplift yourself. This boy in jail is trying, why you and me can't try. And today I'm not going back. I'm going to school next week. And you know what he told me when I left? Honestly, he told me, God bless you, brother. That he gave me God's blessings. That He is praying for my well-being. People in the lowest moments can find God. And so Dhundukari teaches us that even a wretched person can find God. You know who is named Ratnakar? Ratnakar was a robber. He's a thief. And he used to rob people when they're passing through the jungle and cut their hand off, their thumb off, and rob them so they couldn't fight back. And so one day, Narad Muni, same Narad Muni, meet back Ratnakar, and he was going to rob him. And Narad Muni said, think about the karma that you are incurring here. That will anybody, you're robbing for your family because you decided that this is how you want to make a living. Will your family bear the brunt of this karma for you? And he realized no. And Ratnakar wanted to pray and turn his life around now. And so Ratnakar was so bad that all he knew was to kill, to kill. And what is kill in Sanskrit and Hindi? Mara, mara. And so when Narad Muni is telling him, chant the name of God, his tongue is twisting, he can't say the name of God. So Narad Muni says, okay, chant what you know. Chant what you know. And what does he say? Mara, 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 mara. From that word, to kill, came the word Ram, the name of God. God makes himself accessible to anybody and everybody. However you know to call God, call on God. And it will come out good. It will work. If you know the mantra properly, you don't know the mantra properly, call out for him. He will bless you. Rama, Ram. Rama, Rama, ratate, ratate. Biti re umariya. Raghukul nandan kab aavoge. Bhilni ki jo pariya. Rama, Rama, ratate, ratate. मैं भिलनी शबरी की जाई भजन भाव नहीं जानू रे राम तुम्हारे दर्शन के हित वन में जीवन पालूंगे मैं शबरी भिलनी की जाई. That Shabari, who was the lowest of the low, adhamate adhama adhama atinari, she was the lowest of the low, and still she called out for her God, and she didn't have to go to him. God came to her home. However she knew to pray to him. That is our God. And that is our Bhagwat Katha. That's what it teaches us. That just by listening to this Katha even, and knowing about God, thinking about God, we uplift ourselves. And so, Gokarn relieved his brother Dhundukari from that preta sthiti, from that state of being a pret. And what else does he teach us? Dhundukari was so bad to him, and Gokarna was still so good to him. Why? Because he was selfless. He was a brother to Dhundukari. Nadiyan piya kabhi apna chal, वृक्ष न खाए कभी अपने फल अपना तन का मन का धन का दूजों को दे दो दान रे वो सच्चा इंसान है इस धरती का भगवान है. The river never drinks its own water. The tree never eats its own fruit. Apna tan ka man ka dhan ka. He who commits his mind, his wealth, his body to the service of others is a true human. Is a dharti ka bhagwan hai. Selflessly who does that. Agar ista jisaka anga chale. Just like the agarbatti, we burn the agarbatti and the agarbatti gives us sweet smell. That the person who is like that, whether people help you, don't help you, or good to you, not good to you, you serve them. Is Dharti ka Bhagwan. That is the God on this earth. And so Gokarn teaches us to be is Dharti ka Bhagwan, selfless. And so Gokarn and Dhundukari resolved their issues and Dhundukari was relieved. And so that is the Mahatmya of Gita. And so Bhakti Ma, who is listening to all of this, she says, how did Bhagavat come to this earth? And that takes us to the final adhyaya of our evening tonight, the Prathama Adhyaya of Prathama Skandha, that the Mahatmya has finished. The greatness, the syllabus has been explained to you. This is what we're learning. This is why it is great. But how did it come into this world now? Everybody knows who the Pandavas and the Kauravas are. Yes? Pandavas were the 5 good brothers. Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, and Sahadev. And the Kauravas were the evil cousins, 100 cousins, led by Duryodhan. And so, everybody knows they had Mahabharat war. They fought this war between the cousins. And Arjun, who is the hero of the 5 brothers, had a son named Abhimanyu. And Abhimanyu was a warrior, and he was 16 in battle when he lost his life. He served his father and he lost his life in the war. And his wife, Uttara, was pregnant with their baby. And so after the war was done, she's pregnant with the baby. Ashwatthama, who was another warrior on the bad side, to spite the Pandavas for having lost the war to them, tried to kill the baby in Uttara's womb. And so when he released the arrow to kill the baby, Uttara cried out to Bhagwan Krishna, and what does she say? Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagat pate nanyam tvadabhayam pashye yatra mrityu parasparam Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin, help me, Bhagwan Shri Krishna, protect my baby from this Ashwatthama. And so Bhagwan Shri Krishna embodied himself in that womb and made a shield around Parikshit, the baby inside, and protected him. And so that great soul who was inside the womb of Uttara, who is the grandson of Arjuna, his name was Raja Parikshit. Everybody heard that name, Parikshit. And so he was after the Pandavas left this earth and Bhagwan Shri Krishna went back to the heavens, he was left as the ruler of the kingdom. And he was righteous, he was good, he was kind. And so one day in his kingdom, he went in the jungle to sightsee. And he saw a strange sight. He saw a man who was dressed, rugged, who was a vagrant. And he was beating a bull. He was beating a bull bad. And the bull obviously a bull has 4 legs. The 3 of the bull's legs were destroyed, were broken, and only one leg was left standing. And he was uneven on that one leg. And so Parikshit sees this and he stops. He sees the cruelty and he stops the man and he bows to the bull. Hindus, we see God in anything and everything. And so he bows to the bull and he says, he stops the guy from beating him. He says, "Who are you? Why is this man beating you?" And the bull assumed his true form by speaking to Parikshit that I am Dharmadeva. And I am manifest in the form of this bull. That the bull is who? Dharma. What is dharma? Righteousness. In simplest terms, good conduct, good qualities, goodness. As far as we're concerned, dharma means goodness. And he says, Tapashaucham daya satyam iti pada krite krita Adharma shastra tayo bhagna samya sangaditastava idanim dharma padaste satam nirvartatadyata tam jigrikshatya dharmoyam anrite naidhita kali. That me, dharma, I once stood on 4 legs. What were they? Tapa, pavitrata, daya, cha satya. Daya, compassion. Tapa, austerity, sacrifice, self-discipline. Pavitrata, purity of body, purity of mind. That I once stood on these 4 legs. And over time, in Satyug, all 4 of them I was standing strong on. Treta, 1 became weak. Dwapar, the third, became weak. And now in Kali Yuga, I'm only standing on this one, Satya. All these other three legs on which I stood have been destroyed by Kali Yuga. Daya, compassion. How cruel are people to one another in this world today? How cruel are people to the other living beings? Our Dharma teaches us Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is our family. Not just all people are our family. All the world, the animals, the nature, everyone is our family. How cruel we treat our animals today. Our fellow man today we treat cruelly. Daya is done. Tapa, austerity. Tapa means to burn. Tapasya, fasting is a form of tapasya. Tapa means to burn. We believe when we burn ourselves through sacrifice that we make, we emerge improved people. How much sacrifice do people really make in Kali Yuga for their dharma? We got fast for Navrat. We can't wait till the 9 days done, till to break our fast. You have to fast for a wedding. You know how long you're supposed to fast for a wedding? Do you know how long you're supposed to fast for a wedding? Danish looks like you know. How you know? How many? 3 months. 3 months you're supposed to fast for a wedding. And if you can't fast for 3 months, you do what? 27 days. Right, Manji? And then people are able to 27 days, so become a week. And the week is hard, so it becomes Matikor day, and wedding day is fasting day. That's how it goes these days, right? Do you know why we fast? Among the many reasons, other than compassion to animals and all these things, tapa means to burn. When we engage in a sacrifice, when we sacrifice something pleasurable to us, we become better. We become stronger. We become more determined, more steadfast. But still, we struggle in this Kali Yuga. So, tapa is done in this Kali Yuga. And pavitrata, purity of mind and purity of the body as well. We lack all of that in this Kali Yuga. And so Satya is the only thing that remains. And the bull stands weak on Satya, on truth. And so he asks, Parikshit asks the man now, so who are you that is beating this bull? He says, I am Kali. I am Kali Yuga. I am the embodiment of this dark age. I am the manifestation, the personification of the dark age. And the dark age has beat Daya out of our life, Tapa out of our life, Pavitrata out of our life. And only Satya remains. And so he says, Parikshit says, stop hurting this animal. And I will give you somewhere to go. That I am a righteous king, and you've taken shelter in my kingdom, so I will give you somewhere to go. And Kali says, okay, Prabhu, then where should I go? Where do you want me to go? That you don't want me here. Obviously, you don't want me among the normal people. Where do you want me? And Raja Parikshit tells him, Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva He Nath Narayan Vasudeva He Nath Narayan Vasudeva आतिष्ठं मनुशासनं पूर्णश्च याचमानाय चातरूपमता प्रभु ततो अन्वित्रतं मन्दं कामं रजौ च पञ्चमं हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी Raja Parikshit says to Kali that I will give you 4 places to stay. And what are they? Dyutam Panas Triyasuna. That first Dyuta, where gambling happens. Panam, where people are intoxicate themselves. Striyasuna, where women are treated dishonorably. And Himsa, in violence. In these 4 places is where Kali Yuga takes its root. Gambling. Gambling is the root of all of the Mahabharata war. The Pandavas gambled away their whole kingdom. We take for granted what we have. You know, the thing becomes addictive. See, these guys are smiling with me because they do a lot of the sports stuff. They watch cricket and basketball and they like to bet. And how many times I hear Devin tell me, you know how much I made last night? How much I made and then the next day, quiet. So what happened to you? So I lost it. It's an addicting thing. Dyutam, gambling, where people have lack of self-control and lack of awareness of what they have. That is where Kali Yuga takes place. Panam, where people intoxicate themselves, obvious reasons. Striya Panam, where people dishonor women. When our Shakti, who is the divine mother, is manifest as a woman. Where a woman is disrespected, is treated dishonorably. That is where Kali Yuga is. Where the darkness arises. And Himsa, where people are violent. People are fighting. Where people are fighting people. Are not peaceful people. That is where Kali Yuga is. And Kali Yuga says, Prabhu, give me one more place. The 4 is not enough. I need one more place that I can go. And Raja Parikshit says, okay, you can go in Dhan, in riches. Where riches are, that is where Kali Yuga is. This is not to say riches is a bad thing. Ma Lakshmi is riches. But where people have no control over their riches, where riches run our life, that is where Kali Yuga resides. And so Kali Yuga says, Tathastu, thank you very much, Ram Ram. And he goes his way. And so Parikshit continues in his journey now, having assigned these residents to Kali Yuga. And then he goes to the home of Rishi Shamik Rishi. And he sees the Rishi is meditating and the Rishi is not attending to him. The Rishi is deep in dhyana. And so, in a lapse of judgment, Raja Parikshit acts poorly. And he takes a dead snake that he sees around there and he puts it around the neck as a mala over the Rishi to dishonor him, to disrespect him, to put a dead animal around him. Why did he do that? What was the 5th place that Kali Yuga could have lived? What was the place? Very good. It is Dhan, riches. And where are the most riches? In the king's crown. And there, where the riches resided, in the jewels of the king's crown, Kali Yuga had taken residence and had corrupted the intellect of Raja Parikshit. And Raja Parikshit acted poorly out of arrogance and put the dead snake on the Rishi. And so the Rishi's son found out about this. And he cursed, he recited a shrap and he gave a curse to Raja Parikshit. That in 7 days' time, Takshak, the king of the snakes, I command Takshak, the king of the snakes, to bite you and kill you with his poison. He commanded the king of the snakes to poison him. Raja Parikshit went home and took off his crown, and as soon as he took off the crown, he realized what? The error of his ways. That what did I do? How many times we make a mistake in the moment, and when as soon as we sit down for 5 minutes and think about what we did, we're like, oh God, what did I just do? Parikshit did the same thing. And so he made a mistake and he heard the curse now. He knows, he says, this is game over for me. 7 days, Takshak is coming for me. And what does he do? He goes to his guru and he asks him, what should I do in this time? And they invite who? Shukadeva, who is the son of Vedavyas, to recite Bhagwat Katha for him. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Adhitavan Dvaparado Piturdaipayanadaham. They invited the son of Vedas, Shukadev, to come recite Bhagavad. Raja Parikshit knew he had 7 days to live. He knew his time was coming. And what did he do? He turned himself to God. You know, when people tell us you have one life to live and you never know when it's going to finish. And so what they tell you, you must live your life. Live your life. Have fun. Raja Parikshit had 7 days to live, and he knew he had those 7 days. And what did he do with them? He didn't live his life. He turned his life to God. But at least he knew he had those 7 days. You and me have no clue. When he asked them, he says, what should I do in these final moments? And they say, call the name of God. That in anticipation of your life coming to an end, call the name of God. You know, when we hear these things, live your life, you only got one life to live. That's a good thing. Do what makes you happy in life, but with accountability. Live your life, good, but under the condition that you know. Live your life knowing you are accountable for your actions, knowing you are accountable to your God, knowing you are accountable to your soul. Don't people be wild just to be wild. People have fun just to have fun. Do productive things with our lives. Call on the name of God. We always think that there will be enough time. We're young, we always see only old people praying. Only old people praying. And so we think that is for old people too. But bhajan says, मैं मद माया में फूला तेरे उपकार को भूला तेरे उपकार को भूला अब अंत समय जो आया मैं मन ही मन पछताया संसार ने जब ठुकराया तब द्वार तेरे प्रभु आया मैं मद माया में फूला. I was living life in all the mad maya and all the intoxication of this world and all the good times in this world, and I forgot about you and I forgot about what you've done for me, God. Baba anta samay jo aaya main man hi man pachitaya. In this final moment that I'm on this bed dying, I'm regretful from the depths of my heart that I didn't think of you. Antakale chamameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati sasadbhavam yati nastratya samshaya. Bhagavan Krishna says, he who thinks of me in the final moment will attain me. But how will we think of him in the final moment if we never thought about him our whole life? How will we train ourselves to think of him in that moment if we've never thought about him while we were living? So Parikshit is instructed to turn himself for these 7 days at least to God. And so when that final moment comes, he will merge with his maker. And so this is the beginning of Bhagwat Katha. This sets the stage, and Raja Parikshit sits there for 7 days, as you and I sit here for these 7 days, to listen to Bhagwat Katha until Takshak comes to take his life, which you will hear what happens then on the final night. But what is the point of the Katha? What does it teach us? The story of Lord Krishna eating the butter, dancing with the gopis, the Kaliya Nag, Mahabharat war, all these things. It teaches us one thing. Yadyapi sarvagya hai vyapak gagana saman. Yadyapi sarvagya hai vyapak gagana saman. पर निज भक्तों के लिए छोटा है भगवान पर निज भक्तों के लिए छोटा है भगवान। यद्यपि सर्वज्ञ है, although he knows everything, व्यापक गगन समान, and although he is more vast than the sky, bigger, greater than the sky, पर निज भक्तों के लिए, for his devotees, छोटा है भगवान. Bhagavan makes himself chota, small. Bhagavan becomes a child for us. Bhagavan eats butter for us. Bhagavan experiences hardship for us. Bhagavan didn't come on this earth for fun, to have a good time. Bhagavan is God. He has the greatest time. He came in this chota hai Bhagavan, parinaj bhakto ke liye, for our benefit. He came in the form of this little boy, Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And so, this is your syllabus for the week ahead from Bhagwat Katha. What did we learn? Gyan, Bhakti, Vairagya. That we all have Bhakti, but Bhagwat Katha, Yagya, gives us the devotion that we need. It gives us the Gyan that we need, the wisdom that we need, and allows us to train the discipline, the sacrifice that we need. That Bhagvat is the merging of all three paths of life. Karma Yoga, those who serve God through action, those who serve God through devotion, and those who serve God through wisdom, through pondering. Then we learned about Dhundukari and Gokarn. Two things that we pray and ask, that when we are not our best selves, that may God give us that grace in life. And when those around us are not their best selves, may we love them selflessly in the same way. And we learn as well that Kal Yuga resides in those places where self-control is not there, where disrespect occurs, where poor behavior occurs. But Parikshit, who is so righteous and even he was affected by Kal Yuga, teaches us that even when we've made that mistake, it is never too late to turn ourselves to God. But again, Parikshit has had those 7 days. How many days do you and me have? And this is our katha this evening. That may Bhagavan Shri Krishna keep you, the members of this Mandir, Maha, Lakshmi, Narayan Mandir, happy, healthy, and safe. Keep you together, united, give you the guidance you need for these 7 days, for this saptaha, for everything to run smoothly. May we learn something, may we take something home. And as we prepare to bring Bhagavan Shri Krishna into this world on September 6th for Janmashtami, let's prepare to bring him into our hearts as well. Prem se bol Shri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal Bhagwan ki. We hear about our Chota Bhagwan, and so we sing about him. Choti choti gaya, chote chote gwal. Choti choti gaya, small small cows. Choti chote cows, small small little friends Bhagavan Shri Krishna, little friends Bhagavan Shri Krishna had. Choto somero Madana Gopal, and small, a little boy, our Bhagavan Shri Krishna was too. Choti choti gaya, chote chote gwal. Choti choti gaya, chote chote gwal. Choto so mero Madana Gopal. Choto so mero Madana Gopal. Choti choti gaya, chote chote gwal. Chote gaya, chote chote gwal. Choto so mero Madana Gopal. Choto so mero Madana Gopal. घास खावे गैया, दूध पीवे ग्वाल. घास खावे गैया, दूध पीवे ग्वाल. The cows ate the grass, and the friends of Bhagavan Shri Krishna drank the milk. What did Bhagavan Shri Krishna do? Oh, makhan khao mero madan gopal. Makhan khave mero madan gopal. Choti choti gaya, chote chote gwal.
छोटे गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल श्याम वरण मेरो Bhagavan Shri Krishna was as black as the night. श्याम वरण मेरो मदन गोपाल ओ कारी कारी गैया गोरे गोरे बाल कारी कारी गैया गोरे गोरे बाल श्याम वरण मेरो मदन गोपाल श्याम वरण मेरो मदन गोपाल छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे बाल छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे बाल छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल वृंदावन में राधे राधे वृंदावन में राधे राधे नंदगांव में राधे राधे गाने में राधे राधे कुछ मिलन में राधे राधे इस मंदिर में राधे राधे उस मंदिर में राधे 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 से बोलो भागवत महापुराण की जय.
Thank you, all of you, for joining us this evening. Thank you to the Mandir for giving us the opportunity. I'd like to thank Pandit Jakeshwar, especially. Pandit Jakeshwar is so kind to me. Before I give him the mic, I know it's late, but I have to say this. He is an encourager of the youth. That many years ago, a few years ago, when I was learning Panitai, I never did a Parvan Shrad before. The Shrad that you do during Pitri Paksh. And Pandit Jakeshwar does that every year for his father, to honor his father during Pitri Paksh. And so, without telling me, but I knew it was for this, to encourage me and to give me an opportunity to learn this thing, he called me as the Pandit to do the Shrad for him and his brother. And better yet, he gave me the book that I needed to use to learn the thing, because I didn't know how to do it in the first place. That is the kind of leader he is, and we are grateful for him in this community and for the youth that he's bringing up. So thank you very much, Panditji, for the opportunity tonight. Thank you.
प्रेम से व्यास भगवान की जय. I gotta seek permission. He's in charge, right? Let us give him a round of applause. Please feel free to go on, no problem. Thank you so much. We bow toward you, Vyasji, tonight. Very inspiring, very intellectual. We thank you, Pandit Rajiv Ji, Vyasji, for your grace and your blessing in this Monday for the very first night of this 7 sessions of Bhagavad Yajna. My dear devotees, what else is for me to add on? but to pray and ask Bhagavan Ganesha Saraswati Ma continue to bless him, give him that knowledge, that intellect to continue to spread this Dharma. And I'm sure many of you would have listened to him many times before, some of you for the very first time here tonight, and you would have been able to attest, as young as you may be, very deep and wide in his knowledge, reservoir of his experience. Because like I said, Rajiv didn't happen, Vyasji didn't happen overnight. It's many, many years of satsang, many early morning and late nights of toiling that bring forth him along with the blessings of his parents as Ajiji and all relationship. And all of you, many of you would have seen our Vyasji running around. Many of you he has grown in front of. And it's commendable that he have chosen this path, or this path has chosen him, and along with his boys, Tamesh, Alex, Sanjay, and Arvind. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you so much. Let us give his musician a wonderful round of applause for their love and dedication, supporting him. I wonder if I can invite these guys for come back Janamashmi night. They won't tell me anything, but anyway, they're supporting their Vyasji. I can't ask for them. Huh? But thank you so much for all you loving mothers and fathers. If it's your first time with us, I bow to you. Thank you for being with us. Please continue to visit us at Maha Lakshmi Narayan Mandir. Please support Dharma. We have Amar Geet in the house, my dear sister Vidyaji, and Anthony and Dinesh, and all the wonderful musicians, special invitees. Thank you so much for being here. Before I go over to our Aarti, I know we have Pitaji Dwarka here from Cambridge Radhakrishna Mandir. Pitaji Dwarka, can you please come up for me, please? Pitaji Dwarka and Bhai Vish. Vish, come please too, Pitaji. These are, come with him, Naman. Nimanga get us support. Come here. These are wonderful souls. Vish, come with him now. Dear devotees, it's an honor to have Pitaji Dwarka, very young individual with vast experience. He's a leader out at Radhakrishna Mandir in Cambridge. And they're doing a fantastic job out there in Cambridge for many number of years, fighting to put a temple up and to build a temple, and it has been ongoing. And I know tonight it's an honor to have Pitaji Dwarka with us and his dear brother here with us from Radhakrishna Mandir. Pitaji, please update us. I know there's something happening for you. There's fundraisers happening all the time. Devotees, it's a blessing, like I said. If our dear Vyasji excel, all of us win. When a temple excel, all of us win. When walls of a temple is going up, when a building is going up, in a different locality, we should all be proud, we should all support. If it fails, we also fail. And in whatever way, shape or form we can do to support. Although you might be comfortable in your temple and comfortable in your own environment, but to see Sanatan Dharma fly high, it's because of temple I, at a very young age, could have able to get into temple and be nurtured and cared for. Because of temple, our dear son, and all these musicians, and all our children here, because of our parents and dedication and hard work, we could have able to come through a temple to be who we are today, to keep Sanatan Dharma alive. And many of you can attest to this. I'll have this opportunity to hand this microphone over to Uncle Dwarka for his blessings. And of course, we always beg for temple. I know there's something coming up at his temple. He's finding some real difficult times there. As Bhagwan, when you're trying to do anything good, you have testing time. If Hanumanji could have been tested, why me and you not would be tested? Over to Uncle Dwarka ji.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you, Pandit. I want to also just ask you to commend these young people here for what they're doing, especially Pandit Vyas. I don't know if they inspire you, but they certainly inspire me. And I wish that a lot of young people will take the challenge and what you heard today and start practicing some of it. I'm not a Pandit, so I can't tell you anything. What you heard today, may have heard, but I certainly learned something today. Let me tell you about Radhakrishna Mandir. So we started a temple 32 years ago. We bought an old Christian church built in the 1890s, and we converted to a temple. 20 years ago, we bought a piece of land to build a temple. We had all kinds of difficulty getting the zone change. And sometimes I don't stay on as president. I've been president off and on for the last 30 years. I don't believe in this president for life thing, so I will travel and enjoy, give people. But I felt that I had a responsibility to do something for this Dharma that has brought me to where I am today. And in my life, I think I'm pretty successful. People tell me I am. But I think it's my culture and who I am and my parents, what they have taught me. And I felt I had a responsibility, and I think each and every one of us have a responsibility to protect this Dharma. So I went back to the executive, and Vish was the president. I think I said, Vish, we have to build a temple, and I will take the responsibility to make sure that the temple is built. And so, being a Sevak all my life, I thought it would be an easy job. Why? Because we felt that interest rates were low, 2017, 2018. We have the land, we already paid for the land, we have some money, we have some loans guaranteed to us, so we'll build a temple. Well, COVID happened and everything skyrocketed and prices have gone where they are. Where we budgeted $5 million for the temple, today is going to be a lot more. I don't know what it'll be. I can tell you that it'll be a lot more because we saw something that, and again, primarily our temple was built for the West Indian community, but we have been getting more and more support from the East Indian community because of the immigration. Massive amounts of people have moved from from Toronto, Mississauga area up there, and also lots of students. We have over 25,000 Indian students now in Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge. They come to us. So we decided to build a maximum temple size. So the temple we're building will be the largest Hindu temple outside of GTA. In other words, from Mississauga all the way to Windsor. It'll be 8,000 square feet on one floor, and the main floor would also be 8,400 square feet, and plus the other rooms would have rooms for a pandit, and also classrooms for people to learn music, Hindi classes, and so on. So the temple is right now, the construction started last year. We're at the point right now where the steel is almost completed. They're finished within the next 2 weeks. And then after that, we'll put the roof on, and then we'll start putting with the siding, and not the siding, but the steel studding and so on. Are we going to be ready in a year? I can't tell you that. That depends on the money we raise, the money we beg and plead for and borrow, and that's what we're doing. So one of the things we did was Bhakti Sangeet, and thank you all of you for coming and supporting that event. We have another event with Pandit Munilal, who was supposed to be in the first event, and he said he was coming up, he's available. And so we're having a program, I'll tell you about it, at Bhavani Shankar Mandir. There's going to be a dinner and a few artists. Some young people will be involved in that as well. There's a flyer at the back, a poster. We'll leave it with you. Tickets are $50. Now people say, why you want to pay $50? I know Pandit Munilal is going to be here the night before he performs for us. And the reason for it is because if you go out and have a good dinner, I'm sure you'll spend at least $15, $20. You don't have to tip us. We will serve you. If you come out to our concert, you will pay at least $20. So we figure, give a little bit extra for the Mandir, and that was the idea behind it. Now, some people, in fact, people have called Pandit Munilal and said, why do I have to pay $50 to see you? Well, it's going to a Mandir. We felt it was well worth it. And so I implore you, if you can. If you can't, please speak Pandit Jagir. He has lots of dashna he can share with us. So he will subsidize it. I'll talk to him how he can subsidize it. But we would like to have a sold-out program, and if you can support us, it'll be great. We will update you as we go along. I came here tonight to support Rajiv because he was one of the young pandits. We used to come to Radha Krishna Mandir, and we hope to see him again soon. We have a lot of things ahead of us. All new murtis will be ordered. We'll be doing massive pujas and so on when the temple is built. And again, what Pandit Jagir said, I just want to commend people for thinking about this. As a society, we must see each other as equals, and we must be respectful of each person. We have some different categories of people that do certain things their way, let them do it their way. But we have a dharma that we have to protect. And if whatever you can do, please do it. I encourage you, I plead with you to do it because it is ours to protect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bhagwat. Thank you, Bhagwat, for being here with us tonight and support our young talent. And please, devotees, if we can support that show on the 23rd of September at Bhavani Shankar Mandir in aid of Radha Krishna Mandir. Please support, please lend yourself to that show so that we can able to see that building come to fructification very, very quickly. Dear devotees, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here with us. Pitaji Gokarn and Jerome's, thank you for your love and your support of this temple tonight, and not through all other means, especially through your dear son, and to all relationship of who have been here with us tonight. Thank you so much. Bhagwan Kripa and mercy be with you. It was a blessing to celebrate Shravan Mass for the last 58 days. Every day we have been doing puja in temple through Bhagwan's Kripa. Every morning, 6:30 to 7:30 Abhishekam to Bhagavan Shiva, my dear brahmacharis who have been here with us day in, day out, our parents, our children of this mandir, every Monday, every Sunday. May Bhagavan Shiva grace as we conclude Shravan Mass today, commencing Bhagwat Katha. Soon after Bhagwat Katha, we have 10 days of celebration to Ganesh Bhagavan. 10 evenings of worship in Abhishekam to Ganesh Bhagavan. Soon after Ganesh Bhagavan, we have Pitrapaksh, 3 sessions of Garuda Puran reading. And soon after, 10 days break, Sharad Navratri commence. So please stay with us, follow us, and of course, support Dharma. In supporting Dharma, we support ourselves. Prem Sar Vrindavan Vihari Lal Ki Jai. For those of us who are here with us tonight and didn't have an opportunity, please come again. For sure, we'll be able to feature you. Let us kindly stand for Aarti.
Om yani kani cha papani janmantar kritani cha tani sarvani nashantu pradakshina pade pade. आरती कुंज बिहारी की श्री गिरधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज बिहारी की श्री गिरधर कृष्ण मुरारी
देवता दर्शन को तरसे
बरसे गगन सो सुमन रसी बरसे बरसे भजे मूर्छंग मधुर मृदंग वाली संग अतुल रति गोप कुमारी की श्री गिरधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज बिहारी की श्री गिरधर कृष्ण मुरारी की गंगा गंगा कलश काली हरणी श्री गंगा स्वरण ते होत मोर भगा भंगा बसी शिव शीश छटा के भी बड़े अगे की चरण छवि श्री बनवारी की श्री गिरधर कृष्ण मुरारी आरती कुंज बिहारी की श्री गिरधर कृष्ण मुरारी की आरती कुंज बिहारी की श्री गिरधर कृष्ण मुरारी की भगवान की आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती पापियों को पाप से तारती पापियों को पाप से तारती.
We clasp our hands, close our eyes. We offer our closing prarthana this evening. Bhagwan, as we've concluded the first of 7 sessions of Bhagavad Saptaha leading to your birth, as we prepare to welcome you into this world, may you awaken the bhakti, gyan, vairagya in us, the devotion, the wisdom, the detachment in us. That may you give us grace when we are not our best selves, and may you inspire us to give grace to those when they are in their lower moments. And with all the negative influences that surround us in the form of Kali Yuga, then may we find recognition and acceptance of our errors. May we turn ourselves and surrender ourselves unto you. Om Krishna Tvadiya Pad Pankaj Panjarante अद्यैव में विशतु मानस राजहंस प्राणा प्रयाण समय कफवात पित्त कंठवरोधन विधौ स्मरणं कुतस्ते वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. In one voice we pray. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव. We pray for peace. Om Dhau Shantirantarikshavam Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rapa Shanti Aushadhay Shanti Vanaspati Shanti Vishvedeva Shanti Brahma Shanti
सर्वेवं शान्ति शान्तिरेवा शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेधि सुशान्तिर्भवतु. For those of us who can, we bow to our Guru. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Asato ma Satgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritam Gamaya. Sarve bhavantu sukhina Sarve santu niramaya Sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukha bhag bhave. Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. प्रेम से बोलो गणपति भगवान की, लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, उमा महेश्वर भगवान की, सिया भज राजा रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. प्रेम से बोलो बांके बिहारी लाल भगवान की जय. पवन सुत हनुमान की जय. सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय. सबको ही जय जय सीताराम. Everybody raise your arms. जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे श्याम. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. Thank you.
If you know from our first session, Revelation chapter